Hi friends, today we'll be making oven baked chinchin. Stay tuned. You need some flour. We are using 4 cups of flour. You also need some eggs. So for this recipe, we'll be using 2 eggs. You need some sugar. In here, I got a quarter cup of sugar. When it comes to sugar, you can always moderate the quantity according to how sweet you want your chinchin. Here is baking powder. We'll be using 1 tablespoon. We'll need some butter and we'll be using 8 tablespoons of butter. When you are doing oven baked chinchin, the one thing that you need to know is you add more butter. When you are doing oven baked chinchin, you add more butter. So we'll be making 8 cups. We'll use, not 8 cups, sorry. We will be making 4 cups of flour and we are using 8 tablespoons of butter. So if you were supposed to fry, you have to just use you reduce the quantity. I'll be using milk. So this milk is optional. You can replace this with some water. Okay. So and the quantity of milk or water depends on the quantity of chinchin. But make sure that you add it just like gradually when you are mixing. Then here is salt. We'll use a pinch of salt to balance up. And then we'll need nutmeg for flavor. So I'll add about a teaspoon of this or 1 tablespoon. That will be okay. So let's go ahead and mix everything. All right. So we'll start by mixing the dry ingredients. So I'll add in the salt, the baking powder, the sugar. And mix everything. And you add in the nutmeg as well. So this nutmeg, I just eyeball it, friends. You can put a tablespoon or a teaspoon. That is perfect. All right. And mix everything to combine. So in the next step, you go ahead and add in the butter, okay? So when you are making chinchin, you always consider the ingredients that you add in before adding water. You consider your butter, you consider the egg before you can confirm the quantity of water. So start by adding in the butter and make sure that you mix, all right? Okay then. So it's just the butter that's in here. So you want to add in the egg as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and add in the egg. Remember we are using 2 eggs. Go ahead and mix us everything to thoroughly combine. So this quantity of flour takes the egg and the butter. So I didn't add water. So I'm using just 4 cups. All right. It just depends on the type of flour you are using. I'm using all-purpose flour. But for some reason, this flour, after adding in the egg and the butter, I didn't need to add in water. But so finally, we didn't add in any water. All right. Look at the texture, you guys. Look at the texture. So here we have 4 cups of flour. So you will have to add in water if you discover that the texture is not perfect, it's not soft. Then you want to add in some water, okay? But we didn't add water here. Maybe it's the flour that I'm using. Now we'll go ahead and knead it, all right? Next, you want to knead it. Go ahead and add a little bit, just sprinkle a little bit of flour on the flat surface or the board. I'm using the chopping board to knead it. And then you make sure that you knead the dough until it is elastic. All right, now we'll go ahead and cut it into the desired shapes. Okay, so let's go ahead and shape it. So before we shape it, I always just like cut in it, separate it into little round balls like golf balls, and that will be perfect for me when I want to flatten it. Okay, but if you have like a dough cutter, you can go ahead and then it's the same thing. You have to flatten and then use a dough cutter. All right, so I just I subdivide into little golf balls for me to flatten and cut. So shaping chinchin depends on the individual. This first method, I always just shape it like I'm using a dough cutter, and you can always shape it maybe round. It just depends on what you want, you guys. So you just customize it how you like it. You flatten and then you customize. This next method is the one that I really like, although it takes much time. This one is the style or the shapes that we always produce at first. When you make chinchin, like during Christmas, when you do your chinchin, this is how we always take the dough and then tuck it in the middle to come out with this beautiful shape that you have right here. And you just continue on and on until all the chinchin is shaped. Okay. If you are joining for this first time, my name is Yvonne. Please do like and share the video. And I have some other chinchin recipes. I'll link them in the comment section or description box below. So after we are done, we'll just transfer the dough on a baking tray or baking pan and then bake it in the oven. All right. So this is how it looks like, you guys. So this is our dough. We already shaped everything. You see the different shapes and sizes. I'll bring you a video as well of the different ways I do shape a chinchin. Okay, so now you want to pop it in the oven and you bake. So one thing with oven baked chinchin is that you regularly stir it, like every 2 to 3 minutes you have to stir it. You don't want it to get burnt on one side. So you have to bake it until you obtain like a golden brown color, just like so. Don't over bake it and make sure you flip. You don't want it to get burnt. Like I said, you get burnt on one side looking too brown like so, which is something that you don't like. So our oven baked chinchin is ready, you guys. Go ahead and enjoy. I thank you so much for joining. Sending you tons of hugs as always. See you next time. Bye y'all.